Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RV Business SupplySide Showcase. From RV Business, I'm Rick Kessler, and with me is Chris Cieto. And joining the two of us this afternoon, we have Bruce DeYoung. Bruce is the president of AIMS Power. Bruce, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Chris, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, sure. So Bruce, I did a little bit of cheating on your About Us page, and so you've been around for about 25 years. Some of your products have been used by huge institutions like NASA, which is very cool. Give us a little bit of background on how AIMS came into being and the company in general.
Sure, Chris. So my background is electrical engineering, and when I started AIMS, I started with the basic modified sine inverters. That was a Me Too product, but I was in a huge cataloger, and it soon became apparent that there was a lot of industry outside of RV and work truck and what the incumbents were supplying. So with my background, I started developing a bunch of other products that were not currently on the market, and that was higher input voltages, higher output voltages, higher wattages in the inverters. So I ended up getting a lot of OEM type of accounts that were looking for products that weren't currently on the market. And that's why today we have over 100 plus models of power inverters and inverter chargers, and not just a small SKU count with 1,000 to 3,000 watt inverters, because we do supply many OEMs who use our products with their products to supply power.
One of the things that truly impressed me, continues to impress me about AIMS is you're soup to nuts. I mean, everything from the solar panel to the batteries and all the components in between. It's a true system, a power system that you provide.
Right. So the reason that came about was we were supplying all the power inverters, and we started ended up designing complete solar systems for off-gridders, do-it-yourselfers, and some food truck companies, outfitters, and that kind of thing that wanted to get rid of the generators and the noise and the gas. And so I kind of got tired of supplying a $300, $500 product, and the customers really buying a $7,000 system. So over the 25-year period, I just started developing, sourcing, doing what I could to supply the complete system. But also the benefit to the customer is now that they have one supplier for the complete system, they don't have to look at who to call when it's not operating the way or performing the way that they expect. So many customers appreciate that, and it's true in the RV industry also. When we visit customers, they are sometimes tired of this supplier pointing the finger at that supplier, having to get 4 suppliers in to get a system together. It was kind of a natural fit for us to move into the RV industry over the last few years.
Does that give you a better handle on the overall quality of those systems because of that?
Oh, absolutely. We don't, we can size everything perfectly to match with our products. Just like, for example, lithium batteries, there's a few different battery variations out there that might have slightly different voltages and stuff like that. So you can be sure that all of our stuff is going to work perfectly together when we design it.
Nice.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I know looking at the industry, especially over the last number of years, we've become more, I don't know how you want to say it, power hungry, I guess.
Sure.
We want experiences. The consumer wants experiences while camping that match experiences at home. And more people are trying different types of camping, including dry camping and off-grid. So that's created a need for more power and systems that are larger or can handle a different load. What are some of the things that you've seen as maybe challenges to those systems, whether it's solar or battery, as we've grown?
Right. So a lot of people think they put in a bigger inverter and it just automatically just provides more power, and the ability is there, but obviously you need the battery power bank to support that, but you also need to be able to recharge that battery bank. And the solar panel systems that have been put on the market or on the rooftops just can't keep up with the demand, especially if you start including air conditioning units and that kind of thing. Also, there's recommended limits on the amount of power or voltage you put on the rooftop, to 60 volts. And that also creates some limits and higher currents through the system that you would prefer to avoid. So I think it's the understanding of how many panels are really required to recharge if you're truly off-grid and mobile. So what we're always trying to do is to match a system with the maximum solar that could fit on the rooftop. Whether the customer or the RV manufacturer wants to install that at the factory level or at the dealer level, it doesn't matter, just as long as everything is built to the max possibilities, right? So
Yeah.
so that the people that do want to spend the money to upgrade to the correct battery system, solar system, inverter system, charge controller, all that, they can without having to rewire and that kind of stuff.
Bruce, before we hit the record button, we were talking off air, as they say, and you mentioned that most of the OEMs knows who AIMS Power is, but maybe not all the dealers. Are we here to rectify it? Is that why we're doing this video?
I've been working the last 3 or 4 years to try to break into the RV industry. It's a huge industry that we've not been the low cost leader, and I think in the RV industry is very competitive, so the manufacturers are always looking to cut costs where they can. I think over the last few years, I think they're really finding out that the power systems are not necessarily where you want to cut costs. You really want to put quality products in that are going to satisfy the consumer when they get their RV. And so we not being the low cost leader, but we do provide to the manufacturers is a quality product that can be expanded with a lot of options, because we do have such a wide variety of products to offer. At the dealer level, I think a lot of the dealers just say, well, there's this brand inverter in the RV already, we're just going to replace it with that. There's this battery, we're just going to replace it with that battery. And so since we really didn't focus much on the manufacturing side or the dealer side, it really was tougher to break into the dealer market. So what we've done this year, we actually started late last year, is we brought on a great partner in Ranger Distribution who is going to represent us to the manufacturers in the Indiana area and have product in stock and great support. We've been out there training their salespeople so that they understand the product and can help and with questions to the manufacturers should they have any. And also not just with systems, but with our products in particular, because there's so many features that may be a little bit different. We also have a lot of accessories to work with our products that are optional or preferred to be used with. So that's one partnership we've created. The other one is with a group called the Recreational RV Group, who is focused mostly on the RV dealers, but also the work trucks. And these guys are a nationwide rep group that is going to help support not only the products that the manufacturers are putting out to the dealers, but also just helping us to make the dealers and the parts buyers aware of our brand and what we have to offer.
That's terrific, because I'm just remembering it wasn't that long ago. a lot of the OEMs, a lot of the RVs didn't have solar whatsoever. Then, started seeing that trickle, a 100-watt panel here, 100-watt panel there. But we've almost come full circle now where, it's hard pressed to find an RV that doesn't come with solar. But there's still a pretty complex system if you don't do it right.
And I think there's two types of systems that are like I see as being installed primarily. One is more the battery maintainer prep, just a minimal system. It's really not going to recharge your battery. It's really just designed to not have your battery killed if not used or something. And then on the higher end, bigger RVs where you actually have the rooftop space to put more panels, a lot of these manufacturers now are really trying to either maximize or put a true functional system in the RV so that the customer is not disappointed when they get it, or at least have good upgrade options for the what has been put into the RV.
Right. Yeah, I remember harkening back to what Rick was saying. They used to be pre-prepped and maybe you could use a toaster, right?
Right.
Off grid. And it's gotten a little bit more complicated like that. I'm glad there's people like Ranger Distribution and people like yourself who understand the needs and the background of this. We're about 30 days, a little over into 30 days into 2025. As usual, nothing has remained boring. This past week
I know where you're
there
going.
was announced, well, yeah. There was announced tariffs from the new administration, and obviously there was a quick whiplash of impositions of tariffs, and then some delays on tariffs with those countries who responded quickly. How do you see, tariffs playing a role as we move through?
Well, so tariffs affected us under the past three other presidents that we've had also,
Mhm.
with the solar panels being the primary target. So solar panels today, I'm not sure what our future is with supplying solar panels. It's a true commodity, and with the unpredictability of the tariffs, we're looking at all of our options, including starting our own production line or trying to source out of the US or Canada, or working with a US supplier or manufacturer that we can validate the products and put our stamp on the products and have the manufactured by direct from those manufacturers from the solar. We're looking at importing from countries that have no tariffs, which there's quite a few, but as far as I can tell, not a bunch that make a quality solar panel. So worst case scenario, we stop supplying the panel and let others take charge over that. But preferably is we find another partner, and if necessary, we'll start our own production line, so that we could still supply what we feel is the right product for, to meet or to match up with our products. As far as the general tariffs now, we don't import from Canada or Mexico. We do from China. I would say about half our products come from China. And we're looking already at moving production to other countries, maybe Philippines, Malaysia, or I think the US is prohibitive because all the parts are still going to be coming, a lot of the components are still going to be coming from China. So there'd still be tariffs on those. We are looking at moving production lines. Not sure. We're actually waiting for Trump to have talks with Xi, and hopefully they can resolve some of these issues. We've been paying 25% for since Trump's first term in office.
Right.
Our customers have gotten used to that. Tacking on another 10%, or who knows where it might go, might make it prohibitive for us, or for our customers to afford our products. So yeah, we're looking at different production lines and different countries where we could produce that are more friendly. Also, we've been doing a lot of business for 20 plus years out of Taiwan and South Korea, which are more friendly countries. So those are possibilities also.
I'm chuckling a little bit here, guys, because a discussion about tariffs is kind of like a discussion about the weather. Just wait 5 minutes and it's all going to change.
Lately.
For sure.
Is the one thing I wanted to ask too, and kind of goes back to a little bit about some of the competitors that are in your segment, and that is safety. Safety. Who knows what you're getting if you're not buying from a reputable company? I know that's a cliche, a business cliche, but it's actually true.
True. Yeah, so our products that we sell to the RV industry are all UL listed or listed to UL standards, which is great, but that doesn't mean that it's a safe system. That the single product can be safe and put in a system that makes it unsafe.
Right.
So that's why we like to do the complete design and make sure that that there's no real possible way that a fire is the worst case scenario, and fortunately
Sure.
never in 25 years and sold over 1 million inverters have not started a fire that we've been aware of anyway. So you might want to cut that out. But surely in yeah, over 1 million inverters sold, no fires. And I think if it's installed properly, we will never start a fire. I think fusing and cable sizing is a key part to that. So anytime you're off a power source, you want to make sure to fuse it. Every factory will know that. The dealer level doesn't always know that, so or they fuse it wrong. Another reason why we like to supply the whole kit, and or at least design it so that another issue too sometimes is cables are not all the same, so you braid a cable out of 1 gauge and they put a 1 gauge aluminum or something in, and it doesn't have the same ampacity capability as a pure copper, and then the way it's wound and all that makes a difference. So we like to rate stuff at ampacities and not gauges per se, because it's a performance issue, but it's also a safety issue.
Bruce, I'm just curious. Oh, you're in the OEM market, obviously. How much aftermarket do you do?
We do, when you say aftermarket,
well, through the dealers, right?
Through the dealers. So through the RV dealers per se, it's probably only I would say less than 5% of our business.
But certainly that's where you want to see some growth.
I would like to push the growth through the manufacturers so that the dealers automatically assume our product is what they need to use.
Okay.
Replace like for like. Yeah.
Yeah. So and when we do prep packages, with approval of the factories that we are supplying the prep package to, we offer upgrade kits that are pre-assembled or pre-designed, and they can put that on their website and sell it. We have an aimspowerrv.com website that some of our partners have a link to upgrade to their specific kits. So they may call their kit a specific name or have an RV with a name, and they can click on that button and as a dealer or an end user and find the components they need to complete the kit.
Okay.
So we think that's a great feature for from top to bottom, from the manufacturer to the end user.
Nice. Well, not to go back to, like I mentioned, we're only 30 days or so, a little bit more than 30 days into 2025. But everybody I've talked to is talking to people about how do they see this year going, the outlook. As you have spoken with customers, as AIMS partners have spoken with customers, what are you hearing as far as what we see on the horizon as we continue to move through 2025?
Well, we were just out in Elkhart with I was with our engineer and Ranger, and met with some Ranger customers.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And I think there's still a split in the smaller RVs and trying to compete on the low cost with just doing prep packages, and that's going to continue, of course, but our goal is to chase down the larger, high quality, lower volume per se manufacturers that want to have a real functional system for their customers, so I see that is a big split continuing. I think the mid-size systems are still there, but I think lesser so. I think they all want to make sure that it's upgradable at least to a usable system.
Sure.
So I'm seeing a lot of that. We're also, as others are, coming out with all-in-one units that you could plug your solar panels into directly. We're doing it a little different. We're not building a consumer product. We're using all our top-end products, low frequency inverters and MPPT charge controllers, and we have external resettable breakers and fuses, and all the remotes, all our products, voltage regulators for alternator charging, and a battery, include lithium iron phosphate batteries, everything top notch in the system. So, again, it's not a focus on the lower end. It's a focus on something the consumer can have for many years, and be happy with and upgrade. And also the purpose, of course, is to prevent mistakes during or manufacturing process. Also,
Right.
the use of installation and the time to put this unit in is minimized. Our unit, actually, we have a lithium pack that can be separated from the electronics. So you still have your 12-volt supply when, in case the electronics ever did go out. And we have it so you can also parallel a secondary battery pack with it. So we feel like that's a huge benefit to if something goes wrong with the system, since there's so much packed into this box. You still have all your 12-volt power, and you can recharge it in multiple ways, even without the electronics.
Boy, this particular segment, this alternative power segment, let's call it, continues to mature, and it continues to confuse the hell out of me.
Well, Rick, hopefully you can learn something here.
No, I joke, Bruce. You guys actually have a pretty cool video on your website that kind of explains the whole process and how AIMS Power plays a part in that process. So if anybody has the opportunity, they should go to your website to take a look at that.
aimscorp.net.
Very good. Very good. Well, Bruce, thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
Wonderful chat. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Bruce.
All righty. Take care. See you, Chris.